I work in the local government directorate, and the main project that I'm involved in is a project called Comprehensive Performance Assessment, which is how we assess the public services that local government provides to local people, and my job is to coordinate the methodology for how we do that. My mum was a teacher, and I always thought that I wanted to be a teacher, and I did my postgraduate certificate in education following my degree, and very quickly discovered that I was absolutely hopeless. I could hear myself nagging and shouting, and I just didn't seem to have any kind of natural aptitude for teaching at all, which was a big disappointment because that's kind of what I pinned all my career hopes on. It was kind of like blind panic, thinking, my God, what on earth am I going to do? And then I decided that I wanted to move to London and do something totally different. When I first started working here, culturally, I really felt like I'd come home. I really liked the people that I was working with. I really liked the atmosphere. I really liked the kind of sense of working for a team with a purpose rather than just to make money. And there's such a diverse mix of people working at the Audit Commission, you know, and I just instantly got on really well with everybody, and it really felt like the right place for me to be.
Jumping ships, you got away with words, and I got my fingers burned when my guard was down.
My name is Daniel Babcock. I'm a project developer for E.ON Climate and Renewables, and that involves developing wind farms from early feasibility right through to construction. The job's incredibly varied. I'll spend about half my time in the office and half my time out on site. I'll work with the community, and I'll be open with the community, share information, take on board feedback, and develop the wind farm in the most responsible way that I can, taking all factors into consideration. But between finishing my A-levels and going to university, I received the offers for university and deferred for a year because I wanted to actually have a job, earn some money, and I needed a break from studying. And so I got a job with the Inland Revenue, and I was processing corporation tax returns for that year, which wasn't what I wanted to do. It's not cutting edge, not exciting, not where I wanted to be. After about 6 months, when the monotony of doing the same job every day without any variation, without any creativity, became apparent to me. And I started to teach myself programming language and build software tools for the office. And that's when I realised that's what interested me, and designing and creating things was what excited me. And really within the Inland Revenue there weren't opportunities for me, so I went back to university and became an engineer. My first work experience whilst completing my degree was within the defence industry. And I was working on a land-based army project, which was very exciting and very good in terms of having fun as well as engineering experience. Working in the defence industry was an exciting time of my career development, and it had lots of opportunities, but I realised I wanted to work in renewable energy, and I did have to reconcile the internal struggle between staying in a job which I have, which is secure, which has career prospects, and taking a risk to leave that and go for what I really wanted to do. So I took that risk, and I resigned from my previous job and took this job with E.ON Climate and Renewables, and it was the right thing to do. And really I think anyone who is unhappy or they have something else they want to do should listen to their instincts and make that jump, because it will pay off.
Jumping ships, you got away with words, and I got my fingers burned when my guard was down.
I'm Alison Swift. I'm an apprentice service technician. I work for BT Openreach in and around Coventry and Birmingham. We're training to be engineers to work on the last mile of a network, they call it, but it's basically from the exchange all the way to the customer's house, maintaining the phone line, making sure it's all connected, no faults, and providing them as well. My major turning point was probably the day I decided to leave university. It just motivated me to actually think about what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. I think it was just the whole environment, it just wasn't for me. I didn't like sitting in a classroom 7 days a week. I'd rather be out doing things. My parents left school before they even got their GCSE results, so they didn't really know what I was doing anyway. My mum works in a supermarket and my dad doesn't work because he's disabled. I think my parents would have been happy if I had carried on with university. I mean, they were really positive about it. I think they were disappointed when I left, but they were still happy with what I did.
Jumping ships, you got away with words, and I got my fingers burned when my guard was down.
My name's John Glass and I'm assistant blender at Ian MacLeod Distillers. My job goes from standard quality control to designing blends. I assist my boss in deciding how we're going to produce the final blend, and a lot of different activities in between. It's an odd line for my family to be in. My grandparents are from the Salvation Army, so they're all teetotalers. When I finished school, I had good grades and didn't know what to do. Now, my dad is a doctor and I had the grades to do medicine and decided to start studying medicine. I had no problems in first year at all, but then got on to second year and really had a real, is this what I want to do moment? And throughout the rest of that year, I had continued confidence issues. And although I attended everything, every lecture, did every coursework, in the exams I crumbled. And now I would say it's just because I'd come to terms with something, it wasn't something that I didn't want to do. I fell into enjoyment of whisky during university stages when I got into a whisky society, and I realised I really enjoyed the stuff. There's a tourist attraction in Edinburgh called the Whisky Heritage Centre, or Whisky Experience as it's now known, which I thought I'll get a job there for a while, I'll enjoy it, it'll be good fun, I might learn some stuff, taste some good whisky, and started working there. And after about a year or two, I decided this really is my passion, this is an industry I really want to work in.
Jumping ships, you got away with words, and I got my fingers burned when my guard was down. Read my lips, I have a way with words, for I got my fingers.
My name's Sarah Halls and I'm an occupational therapy assistant. I work in neurosciences, and we tend to work with patients who have been in road traffic accidents or had brain tumours, and also people with spinal injuries come to us. I find this job very rewarding, but also very challenging. So almost every morning you wake up, you don't know what kind of day you're going to have. It's constantly changing, which is what was brilliant. You have to be very creative. You almost have to, think on the spot. As of 2 years ago, I never knew what occupational therapy was. From a young child, was always hooked on drama, was always going to be an actress, and took A-levels in drama and then a degree in drama. And it was through my drama degree that I actually thought, do you know what, it's not for me. I then decided to join Adam Brooks' staff bank for administration duties around the trust, and I worked in many different areas. By talking to the health visitors, they said, well, why haven't you tried occupational therapy? And I said, well, I've never heard of it. And so I researched into it, and it's got a lot of similar skills, transferable skills, if you like. So then I went for this job and thankfully got it and haven't looked back. And now the next step is my degree so that I can work my way up and become a therapist. What motivates me in my job is knowing that I'm making a difference in people's lives every day. And I don't think there's been one moment that I've woken up in the morning and thought, I don't want to go to work today. I feel like I'm really important to a lot of people here. My mum has been a nurse for many, many years and still is so unbelievably passionate about her job. And if I can be as old as her, sorry mum, and enjoy my job still as much as she does, then that would make me have accomplished something really important.
I got a stark reminder of when I first did see those flames wrapped around a paper towel in my backyard when we